There's no game like your game. Might share a genre with something very popular. It might be a game that is inspired off of something retro. Recently at GDC, I saw this awesome rebuild of an old fighting game, and they rebuilt it in their own vision, for one of their kids. And I think that's something special to talk about in games. It's not always about, am I making this to sell to this particular audience or this particular user, but am I making this to deliver upon an experience I once had? It's a very powerful way to think about your games and what you're making. But ultimately, everyone has a unique approach. And even if someone else's approach is the same as yours, their life experience is not the same as yours. That means the decisions they make as a designer will be drastically different. They won't, pick the same colors. They won't have the same thoughts about how to make it more accessible. They won't treat the gameplay the same, even if they are a very similar person to you. Jonathan Blow has a great talk on this called Truth in Game Design. And he starts it with about 4 minutes of fractal video where you're zooming in and in and in on a Mandelbrot and looking at all these different sides of it. But the way those equations work is you could stop at any frame and pick a different angle to zoom in on, and you would get a completely different pattern and picture that's completely unique to you. So maybe if you do cookie cutter baby's first Unity game, you'll have the same exact experience as someone else. But if you iterate and you put time into your design, then you will result in something that is uniquely yours and is a game that only could have come from your mind. I recently, also at GDC, put one of my tutorials into AI, and it's a game called Paddler that I've been working on, where you're a bartender at a water park serving alcoholic drinks by typing out the ingredients, or non-alcoholic drinks. Gotta have some room in there for good tasty stuff. I don't drink myself, so I'm a big mocktail fan. But in this game, right, you're just typing out and you got lanes. And so I took my entire tutorial, I pasted it into an AI, I walked away for 30 minutes to have lunch, I came back and I could play my game. Now, the visual presentation was different, some of the control schema was a little bit off. What else about that game? It just lacked, some personality, some oomph, some, hey, this is how you do it. And obviously, I'm still working on that game. It's still it doesn't have tutorialization. It doesn't have a lot of the basic things that would make it a game, like a story yet. We're building that with me and my team. But it's cool that AI could do this, but it still didn't make my game. And it could never make my game. What makes a game yours is iteration. Now, maybe if I had sat with that AI, giving it a bunch of prompts and guiding it a certain direction, maybe it could turn into my game. But ultimately, a game is best defined as your series of design choices, which, if you've read my old articles, Games Are Choices, you would know I believe games are entirely choices. So for a game to be yours, whether it's your gameplay or your whole design going into a game, really that's defined by how much have you put in, where have you guided it, and how many of those iterative decisions have you actually made to shape the thing into something that is unique, is yours, does communicate and express yourself. Whether that's sharing an experience with someone else and getting them to undergo the same experience you once had, or create a certain feeling, or to even tell a complicated story and message. There's so many different reasons to make a game and how you can go about making them, because they're art, and ultimately art is never the same. And for art to be yours, you really have to put yourself in it. Time, energy, your experience, and your own personal message into the art piece for it to be yours. Thank you.